everybody, Bean the Braver coming to you with it's not late night for me, but it's probably late night for some of you. It's only like 8:30 over here and it feels like it's midnight. But even though I had a tiring day of going grocery shopping, that's all I did today. I woke up, I went grocery shopping, I came home, I put the groceries away. And then I talked to my mom on the phone, which is nice. And I made pizza in the oven, not from scratch. And I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I started the day with so little energy. And here I am at the very end of it, but I still wanted to hop on to Island Life and just do a little bit of resource gathering, just do a little bit more to get our new home set up, and just have a nice chill night with some lo-fi and some gravel digging and some tree chopping, stuff like that. I see Anthony Taylor, welcome, saying hello, only stopped by for a bit yesterday. What's the deal with the new series? So, basically it's just that, new series. Island Life. I'm with a group of new creators, so this is separate from Stonevania, separate from, the people that we know over there. It's not replacing Stonevania, I'm still working on that alongside this, but this is now just something new added on alongside of it. I will be streaming this series, primarily, and Stonevania will still be episodic. This one will be streamed. And I want to at least be able to hop on here once a week and stream this every Saturday, maybe? Friday, Saturday? Maybe? Would be a good day. But, yes. There's all the links and stuff should still be in the bottom from yesterday, but if you want to check out the other creators, I believe this was started by Airfarin Gaming. If you want to go check out his stuff and all the other creators so far, I've been snooping around, checking out their channels, and their stuff is really good. And we got a mix of experienced builders, redstoners, people who have been making videos for years, people who are brand new to content creation. So we've got a good mix of people here. And if I switch the camera on over, well, the whole premise of Island Life is that we're all on islands. We're all on islands. I'm gonna sleep. Come on, there we go. So right now we got Airfarin and Zen are on at the moment. But the whole premise of this is that we are on islands. There is no actual land, so it's not like we just found a seed that just so happened to have a bunch of islands. This world has been specifically generated to have no land. And it's just these little pockets that we need to find. So right now I've been doing a little bit of searching, a little bit of mapping. So out here I found what's probably going to be a good resource island. It has a really funky generation that I don't think people would want to build on, and it just seems like a good island to just tear down for dirt and gravel and sand. We have just a singular chunk of terracotta and desert over here, so if we want cacti, we gotta grab it from there. This is my island, my big island. Right now I'm on my starter island, over here, my tiny one. This is, over here is Egg Rock Island, and it's called that because it has a rock that looks like an egg on it. Then up here, the big island is our world spawn, so somewhere over here, I actually think they said that they were starting to get a shopping district set up. And the cool thing is I made a suggestion for the shopping district, and they're actually going through with it because they really like the idea of it. But the shopping district is going to be basically a boat dock and it's gonna be, if you've played Stardew Valley, the night market, where all of the boats are like pulled up at the dock, and each one of them is decorated with all their gaudy items, and each boat is a store you can buy stuff from. So I was like, oh, could we do something like that where all of our stores are boats? And they were like, that's awesome, we're gonna do that. So I think they have the boat dock set up. If I can remember where I parked. I don't remember where I put my boat. Okay, it's over there. Oh yeah, this is my little starter island. A creeper went off over here. So we're going to fix that later. And I've just been kind of snagging saplings from different islands and just plucking one, bringing it over here to grow some trees so I can get some wood without decimating someone else's ecosystem. So that over there, that's Zen's island. Zentai. I got some acacia, I got some oak, I got some birch. Let me switch my screen. There we go. I plucked a piece of bamboo from, I think it was Bambi's island. Some bamboo from Bambi. And from there, I have now started a farm of my own. There we go. Now here, my lo-fi is very quiet. I can't hear it very well, so I'm going to turn that up. There we go. I made a playlist specifically of what I've found to be stream-safe lo-fi beats. And this is kind of the trial run of the playlist to see if any of the songs in there get kicked. So it's just some Animal Crossing beats. Oh, that one wasn't grown. Trying to pick up some bamboo. The interesting thing about this series, I realized is that I'm probably gonna be challenged more than I have been in any other series, because I'm a terraformer. I am a terraformer. My thing is that I take landscapes, I take mountains, and I flatten them. And if a mountain wasn't there, I'd build one. But I am now surrounded by water. And in order to get materials for the builds I want, I have to travel and be very deliberate about the items that I pick up and the items that I want to build with. Hence kind of grabbing as many materials as I can and putting them over here. So that I can at least experiment with them a little bit. Whoop. Does it just become a waterbender? I wish I'd be one like False. And he says, okay, so I don't know if you were doing this already or avoiding it. SS Hermit build. That would be cool. That would be cool to build the SS Hermit. But that would require a lot of quartz. And I've only been here 2 days. It would be cool to build it, because I've never built a boat before, period. But so far, the big plans for this is that me and my friend Olive want to build a hotel resort. And I genuinely want it to be like a mega build, like a giant actual beach resort hotel, like water park and swimming pools and actual rooms inside and everything. And we're gonna pick one of these islands and it's just gonna cover the entire island. It's gonna be sick. But that's gonna be, like I said, down the road once we actually have more materials and stuff. Who knows, I might make some more farms. I might actually try to make a farm. Is there a way to farm gravel? I don't know, but I would like to find out because that is important. I went mining earlier and I found absolutely nothing, but I did find that there are like a bunch of gravel deposits under this island, so I'm like, you know what? I can sell gravel. also sell wood. But I think with the bamboo is going to be a nice color to build stuff on an island out of. Ooh, I can use straw as well if I want to make a straw hut. I need more string to make fishing pole. Sweet. Sweet. Anthony says, so wrangling piglins and making a gold farm. I don't know how to make a gold farm. I'll try. Rock that looks like an egg island does have an abandoned nether portal on it. So I think that's going to be my access to the nether. But so far, I am just kind of working with copper. Like I said, we're in the build-up stage. We're in the build-up stage. We're getting our gear. My diamond pickaxe came from 3 diamonds that I bartered with somebody for. I did find 2, naturally. We've got a bunch of these around here. Like, this place is just crawling with monuments. There we go. And over here is the world spawn island. Look at this. Said we started yesterday, so this whole thing started up yesterday. But it looks like a lot of people have been taking advantage of the weekend to build their spots. It looks like somebody's got something started over here. Copper schmoppery will be fine. Okay, so they got another portal. Who is this over here? We saw Perselke's little mermaid cove over here somewhere. We saw that yesterday, and her stuff's really cute. Boat dock. Is this supposed to be shopping district boat dock? That's a shipwreck. No, that's just their boat dock. Over here is Airfarin. He's got his boat set up over here. I'm still looking at these and thinking, what kind of wood, what kind of colors do I want to build with? Anyway, I think a pale oak sapling, some pale oak saplings would be helpful. Here we've got some cobble. Do I want dark oak? Because before the hotel, before the resort, first thing I want to do is make a food chain. I want to make some seafood restaurants called Fin and Out. Oh, over here, this is Silky's. No, Emmy. I guess there's two people going in caves. I don't think anybody's done anything with this island yet. I could pick up some materials. Fin and trout, or is it too much? No, I was gonna say it's Fin and Out. Fin and trout. I think fin and out rolls off the tongue easier. Like in and out. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a shovel. I don't know if anyone's building anything over here yet, but this seems like a good island to tear down to get dirt to terraform stuff. Can I take you home? I don't have a way to take you home with me, dang it. Oh, let me pick up the gravel. Is somebody building over here, or is this... Naturally generating bricks? Archaeology site. Ooh. I've never seen one before. I don't want to go poking around someone else's build. I need a brush to recover stuff from suspicious gravel. Got it. I'm simply on the hunt for gravel. Ooh. Okay, we'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone for now. Oh, and there's another shipwreck down here. Wait. I can't see. Oh, I already got it. Where's my boat? Where's my boat? How do you make a brush? Parked on the other side, dang it. I want to go mining, but I don't, like I said, I don't want to run into somebody else's build. Where's my boat? Oh, someone's over there. I've never seen a boat sink before. That's interesting. Who's over here? Gotta run into him. Howdy, howdy. Ah, he don't got his mic connected. Yay! Insurance claim for running you over. Hold on, hold on. Let me see that steering wheel. That's armor stand and pickaxes together to make a steering wheel. That's cool. Everyone's just watching a stream while simultaneously playing Minecraft and Wizard 101. Nice. I'm trying to find a good spot to go caving, but we seem to have a lack of caves. Because I need to find a spider so that I can get more string to make more fishing poles. Gotta get my copper. I could just sell copper. I could just scrap the gravel shop idea and just sell copper again. Because I already have enough. Hi, buddy. Iron and stuff over there, but like I said, this is someone else's territory now. This island is pretty big, so there might be a cave that hasn't been touched yet. I need a spider. If I can get my hands on a spider spawner. Let me see if I can crawl up in here. There we go. I definitely need lots of coal. Like I said, we're still in early game. So a bunch of this, as much coal as you can pick up will be helpful. You know what? I'm gonna save the diamond pickaxe, because I don't want to wear that down too soon. I'll save that for going through like Deep Slate. It might be a while until I see diamonds again. Tongue out for maximum concentration. You know what? I think I will sell copper. Copper core is hitting the ocean. I don't have any torches, dang it. That's right, I used them all up. But my eyes have adjusted to be able to see copper in even the dimmest of places. And more coal. This is riveting, I know, and you guys could barely see the screen. But there's coal behind that black screen, trust me. Boop. And I need as much as I can get. And another piece of copper. Tells yes, this Hermit question I need answers. Is climb a Clydesdale? Yes. Honestly, when I drew that horse for B-Dub's character card, I wasn't really basing it off of any of B-Dub's actual horses. I did just draw a Clydesdale, because it would be really funny to have the halfling pulling a giant Clydesdale behind him. And is that on one hand funny, but on the other hand also showing like just how good B-Dubs is at his job of being the animal handler. It's like it doesn't matter how big the beast is, he ain't scared of it. That thing could step on him, snap him in a second, and he ain't scared of it. That giant horse listens to him. I was thinking of B-Dubs' backstory last night and it made me cry. He's got a sad story. I gave him a sad story. I feel bad. Oops. I just got rid of my light source. I think I will make a copper boat to sell copper. That seems to be what I'm attracted to anyways. I'm naturally drawn to it. Oh. He says, well, he has to have some reason to be as strong as he is. Yeah. He's a tough little guy. He's a tough little stinker. And I think kind of realizing this now is that an overarching theme of the whole story could be fear and how it affects you, because we're gonna see Scar dealing with fear through, like, his powers. As his, you know, magic grows and kind of gets beyond what he can control. So we're gonna see how him being afraid of what he can do affects what he can do. It's late, or it's not working. And then, obviously, analyzing fear through Mumbo, where I'm coming from a pretty abusive home life, and being surrounded by just bullies and negativity all the time has turned him into a very frightened person who's just scared of anything that might look like it could harm him. And how that manifests in him wanting to run away from things. We've got fear in Doc as the foreman, where he's in the same vein as Mumbo, where he's absolutely terrified of a lot of things, and he uses that fear, instead of running away from things, he uses that fear to run towards things, to fix problems before they happen. And his fear actually makes him a good foreman, in that sense, that he's, you know, constantly on the lookout for things that could go wrong. He's constantly checking things for safety and making sure that, you know, nothing explodes, or that nobody gets hurt through careless actions. And then again, Beatums has this fear of connecting to others again, because he's lost so many people. He's lost so many of his loved ones. So he's got his tough guy persona to put on, because he knows that that's what he has to put on to, you know, keep himself from breaking down. So it's kind of a theme. I didn't mean for it to be a consistent theme, but what's the word? Not moral of the story. Motif. But a motif throughout the story is how fear manifests, how it affects you, and how you can deal with it, control it, and work with it. Use it to your advantage. Learn to live with it, or learn to grow past it. And a big thing that I've always said in my life is that knowledge is the antidote to fear. The less you know about something, the more frightened you are of it, and the more you know about it, the less scary it becomes. And things are always easier to deal with when you're with somebody. So the hermits, even if you look at every individual one, they'd be absolutely terrified of being on this island on their own, but because they're together, that's what makes them feel safe. That's what gives them the strength to carry on with their individual abilities. It's what allows them to feel safe and be creative. Look at this clay. Look at that clay. But it's not mine. That's someone else's. I ran into a wall. Motif is generally music, or is it not exclusive? I think motif can be used in writing as well. I remember that popping up in my English classes, but theme works as well. Is this Silky's cave? She's not on, but that looks... Oops. Somewhere around here. Excuse me, squid. Yeah, it's not something that I... That's my boat. That's the boat I lost yesterday. There is a bunch of gravel I can pick up to sell, but I've got way more copper. And I need diamonds as soon as possible. Here we go. This is our spawn island. Cows brought to you by Bambi and Emmy. Please only take 2. Make sure there are 2 left. Sweet. want cows. I've got fish for now. Anthony says, I wouldn't necessarily know I'm not a good writer. I got that NG brain, more made for instructions. That's okay. I live solely in the realm of creativity. Okay, wait. You've got an engineer brain. So the whole thing in the last chapter of the front of the boat opening up and like the animal pen like being a separate boat inside that goes out. That was so hard to figure out. Because for the life of me, I have no idea how a ship works. I don't know how redstone works, so I should probably watch a few videos so that I can write it more, truthfully. But I was writing that and I'm like, I have no idea if this would actually work. But that came from the fact that since the ship is like parked further away, I had no idea how they would get the animals from ship to shore. It's like, you know what? Magic steampunk redstone bullshit. The pen itself is a boat, and the boat's gonna open up, and the pen's gonna float out. Like the, it sounds bad, but I was thinking of like the little ships from like D-Day, where the soldiers were like inside them, and you just had like hundreds of them pulling up onto the beach, and then the front lowers down. But instead of holding soldiers, it was just a big one that like was holding the farm animals. So that's the result of my creativity hitting the block of like, wait, I actually need to think of something that could be possibly machined here. Anthony says, the thing that got me thinking is the change in weight distribution in the boat once the rafts were released. Ooh. Maybe they've got... Because this thing was built by Exuma, so there's probably, like, some sort of weight in the front. That it could even, like, fill with water, like, something that, like, pumps water up, and it would, like, weigh the boat down on that side as the thing leaves. Because it can all be written off as like the boat itself was designed by an engineer. Oh, Sky's still here. She wasn't able to make it for the first recording, so we brought in a mannequin of her, and now she's just kind of here forever. Do I want to bring some spruce back? Do I want some spruce? I don't know if I want spruce. It says I'm leaving the mannequin until she joins and sees it. There's some granite up there. And there's an animal up there. I want to see what that is. Hold on. Camera drone. Ooh. I knew it. We got a wolf stuck up here. I don't have any bones on me. Dang it. Well, there's a wolf up there if anybody wants it. I left my island without making a shovel. I went back to my island specifically to make a shovel, and I didn't make one. There are bones on the boat if you need them. Awesome! I thought I was about to watch that sheep just walk right into a berry bush. I'm trying to think of like color palette. So I want to build with the bamboo. I'm thinking of like the thin and out check. Or I could just build a house so I at least have a roof over my head. I'll do that. I'll build a house and then worry about thin and out. G'day. Having a pump system inside of the cargo bay would also explain how too much water didn't get inside when Momo broke in the hatch. For that one, again, this comes from me not knowing a goddamn thing about how boats are set up. I know about planes. I know about airplanes. Because my brother was obsessed with the Air Force and like C-130s and fighter jets and helicopters when he was younger. So we went to a lot of air shows, and I know what the inside of a plane looks like, but I've never set foot in a boat. But for when he breaks in the cargo hatch, I'm thinking that would have been an actual door that was like up a ladder higher up. So like when the generals came over to check the boat to look for Mumbo, I said that there was a ladder that just goes down the side of a boat, because I assume that boats have ladders on the side of them for people to climb up. And I imagine that ladder also connects to like a little platform that leads to a door, to like an actual door into the cargo bay. It's something where I need to show the blueprint of the Hermit that I made to like somebody who actually knows what the inside of a boat looks like, and be like, hey, can you fix this? And it's weird because it's such a specific like mix of boats where it's not specifically a cargo hauler, it's also supposed to have rooms for people inside. It's not a battleship, but it's not an old-timey wooden ship either. So it's just kind of a mix of a bunch of ships that I've seen in other media, with a little bit of the Star Trek Enterprise mixed in. I didn't realize that I was talking with one of my friends about, you know, Star Trek, Star Wars. And I realized how much of like the style of SS Hermit comes from like the writing style of Star Trek, of like a bunch of extremely talented people are on a vessel on a mission to do something very specific, and bad things just keep happening. And the chapters are kind of set up as like, you know, the Monster of the Week style thing that Star Trek was known for, and just the concept of like, this section of the ship is for engineering, this section of the ship is a greenhouse, this section is, you know, a gym. So the Hermit herself is modeled more after the Enterprise than after any actual boat. And then Exuma kind of has that Kirk relationship with the Hermit, where it's like he trusts her and only her to get them places, and the ship in turn, while not sentient, it might be. The ship trusts Exuma and only Exuma to steer. Sometimes dog. I also imagine that tinfoil would also be a good stand-in steerer when both Captain and Doc are busy and they need someone to just hold onto the steering wheel. That's probably where tinfoil goes. When we don't see him on the ship, he's the other person who steers. A yacht-looking thing? I guess a yacht. Except built to be a little bit stronger than a yacht. Built to hold farm animals and a year's worth of building materials. What was I doing? I need to build a shovel, and I need to put the coal in. So I got quite a lot of copper out of that. So I got some coal. I need to make a shovel. Which Means I need some of this. Oh, there's a brush. A feather. I need a feather. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for a feather. Show. Make 3. Go and I'll put the other axe away. I'm gonna sell copper, because I have way too much of it. So let's get some furnaces made. The thing is, I don't have enough coal to run all of these, at least I don't think. I'm gonna split this. Go. 32 and 32. And then remaining coal. See how many torches we can make out of this. 56. Okay. I just need more sticks. More sticks. I can just make that over here. To at least get a full stack. There we go. I have so much copper. Let's take the raw copper and put it in a box of its own. I'll throw it in here for now. I want this to be my treasure chest, but I'm ending up with a lot more copper than anticipated. Oops, all copper. Also, when you said Doc has a fear of problems occurring and tries to fix them before it happens, it's also a very engineering mind sort of thing. Yeah! So like I said, running with the theme of how fears can affect you is that in that sense, Doc's fears of things going wrong, his paranoia, makes him a very good engineer. It reminds him to not be careless, and he's a hard ass on others to make sure that they're not being careless, to make sure that things don't explode and take people's eyes out. So imagine when he was younger, he wasn't as safety conscious. He was very much a go, 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 let's just get the job done. Let's just get this work done. Okay, I need to clock out of here. Go see my wife. Okay, goodbye. Yeah, he was very much focused on just completing a job as quickly as possible. And then, factory explosion took out his arm and his eye, and then afterwards he's like, I don't want that to happen again, so I'm going to double, triple, and quadruple check everything before I even turn it on. And then it'll be cool with Doc being Mumbo's teacher, of him sort of teaching Mumbo how to use his fear as a strength. Of like, you know, make sure everything is super clean. Make sure everything is back where it goes so that you don't lose a tool that you need when you need it. Double check everything to make sure it's correct. Don't be afraid to ask somebody to help you if you think that you're doing it wrong. So he kind of he helps to take the shame out of being afraid, and that it's okay. You have the tools you need to solve the problems that you're worried about. You just have to be smart enough to do it. And then in turn, Mumbo kind of teaching Doc to ease up a little bit. You don't have to be mean out of fear. You can be, you know, careful and make sure that other people are being careful without hollering and screaming. So it's gonna be fun writing the two of them kind of melding with each other. And that's something in Hermitcraft I do want to. It would be really fun to see the two of them work on a project together. Because so far, anytime, because they're both 100% hermits. Between Doc and Mumbo, is that they only come out of their caves when one of their friends shows up and it's like, hey, come on, let's go do something. They're like, alright, fine, I'll put my project down. No, it would be so awesome to see the two of them like team up for something. Because any time, like I said, they come out of their caves, and like whenever Mumbo passes by like one of Doc's inventions, his reaction is always like, oh my god, what in the world is he doing? What on earth? How has he done this? This is incredible. And then anytime Doc passes by one of Mumbo's inventions, he's like, he did it wrong, but it's working. How did he do that? It's like they're always blown away by just seeing the other's contraptions, but they always miss each other. Like I said, they're both hermits, so like they don't come out unless their friends pull them out of their holes. And he says, but hollering and screaming is much more effective. No. It's effective on some people. But Doc's gotta learn that, like, okay, this kid's built different. I gotta lower my voice and then he'll listen to me. Both of them teaming up would either be revolutionary or an apocalyptic event. I realized they didn't team up, but we had them versing each other in the court case. Which is funny. Also, their senses of humor like bounce off each other so well. Like they both find the same things funny, and then I lost what I was gonna say. How is it? Both of them have that inherent like YouTuber knowledge of like no matter what happens, commit to the bit and just keep pushing it until something breaks. I'm like, if a bit's going on, hold your ground and do not give in. Just keep making it worse until the other side gives up. Season 9 with the peace, love, and plans versus the perimeter. Exactly. Like I said, that was such a perfect example of like the two of them, like neither of them back down. It's just, okay, I guess I'll keep escalating this then. What's the next weirdest or biggest thing I could do to top this? I want to see the two of them team up and work together on something. Because all of their interactions that I'm writing are completely made up. I don't know if they've ever even worked together on anything. There's a lot of like hermit team-ups that would be really fun to see. First of all, for this season, I'm super happy to see Wells actually exist and building stuff and interacting with people. Like one of his videos came out, like an entire half of it was him just goofing around with Pearl. Like I love that. I love actually seeing him and not just being like a half-finished building that got left behind. It's like I'm so happy that he's here. So I love his characters. His character in SS Hermit as well, where he's I want to make his character card because I draw him as like such a normal looking handsome guy. And it's fun exploring his character because he is very much the chivalrous knight. He's like, his job was to be pretty much a security guard, but with, you know, knight's uniform for the royal presidential palace. I'm still figuring out the political things in the world, but he was the guard for the presidential palace. So he has a lot of experience pretty much being a police officer. But then when it comes to being in the woods, as he's like, I'm just gonna follow you guys, and I will jump in front of you and fight the monsters, and I will be brave and not bat an eye at this creeper running towards us, and oh my god, is that a spider? So it's fun writing him getting surprised by stuff. Also him sort of being their inlet and sort of the in-world explanation for like political stuff going on. So it's like with him being a palace guard, he's heard a lot of gossip, so anytime I need something like political explained in the story, that's his job. And he says, I love seeing Wells and XP existing this season. Yeah! XP last season is kind of where I got his characterization from, of him just being like, alright, I'm peacing out to the Arctic, don't talk to me. And then Corrales just consistently crashing into him and being like, hey, you should come back, you should come back, you should come hang out with us, come on. And XP being like, no, leave me alone in the Arctic. And then the second Corrales disappears for a few months, XP is like, hey, get back here. You're not allowed to be busy, you're the only person I talk to, come back. So I love writing the two of them, growing on each other. Also, I decided that, Corrales was a halfling, like, long before I found out that he was, like, 6'5" IRL, so... Sorry, Corrales. Because he's the same as Beat-Ups, where he just has, like, short energy. He's got little guy aura. There we go, let's grab some more of these. Also, I was looking at the character cards and I realized that Wells is gonna be the only actual human. So I was thinking, no, because I already wrote it down, I can't change it yet. Yeah, Wells is the only actual human. Everybody else is quarterling, which is a half-halfling, half-dwarf, full dwarf, animalkin, elf, half-elf, half-giant. Wells is the only 100% human. Say giants are just tall humans. You'd think so. I'm gonna dive into that too, of when people start calling Mumbo a giant, he gets like really upset about it because all his life his mom told him that, no, you're just a big human. Even though he's obviously half giant, his dad was a half giant. But all his life she's like, no, you're just a big human. You're just a tall human. So he thinks that he's just a tall human. And then he's around people who have actually, you know, seen giants, and they're like, no, you're a giant. And he's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to be. And we can dive into the fantasy racism and the world of how species perceive each other. How Kalilia is an extremely racist state who kind of puts out the propaganda that, like, animalkins and species like giants are less than, they're violent, they're vicious, we don't want them here. We don't want any hoofed or pawed creatures existing here. only elves and dwarves and halflings, and especially humans, are the reigning intelligent species of the earth, and that's how it should be. Okay, so him being Carillion, he's grown up hearing that, and it'll be an interesting part to write, kind of mirroring my own experience, growing up in rural, middle of nowhere, only white people existed town, and just hearing things about other races from other people and just kind of accepting it as true when you're little. And then as soon as you grow up and somebody makes a point to tell you, like, hey, that what you were told was wrong, and it clicks of like, hey, yeah, that was bullshit. Why did they tell me that? So yeah, once again, fanfiction being the carrier of processing your own emotions and stuff. So he's good. Momo's gonna have some moments of like realizing that the stuff that he was told growing up was borderline wrong and propaganda, and then he's like, oh wait, I shouldn't be thinking like that anymore. Referring to them as beastkin. That's the thing, I wanted to drop that line in earlier, but it didn't fit. But I want to have a moment of like Mumbo or one of the other newbies saying the word beast, and like Beef kind of pulling them aside and going, hey, I don't know if anyone's told you, but that's a slur. So like the word beast to refer to like an animal, a half animal person, is like very offensive. And that's why the Carillion generals were like, oh look, there's beasts back here. So I want to have a moment of somebody like accidentally saying it and Doc almost killing them and Beef having to like slide them aside and be like, hey, that's a bad word. Just so you know. Do you have anything that would distinguish a half-giant from a tall human? Well... So the segue into this is that I love drawing skeletons, and I love learning about biology and like the subtle differences between species. I've got like a Frankenstein-esque fascination with like drawing skeletons and muscular systems and figuring out how it all works. So along that is that when it comes to designing the species, I'm like, okay, on a skeletal structure, on a biological scale, what would make them differently? Because visually, the indicators are, of course, like size, ears. But then again, also like when you play D&D and you flip through like the different characters, the different species you can play, there's like lists of like all the different abilities that you get. Like if you're a halfling, you got dark vision. If you're a dwarf, you've got resistance to fire and dark vision. If you're a dragonborn, resistance to fire, dark vision. And so again, drawing from like the D&D stat blocks for the species, and then combining it with just my own made-up biology. And I was actually thinking of like elves as well, the difference between. And so like all of the I call them like there's the animalkins and the five-toed creatures, because they're not humanoid, because it's not like humans and then everything else stems from humans. So I'm trying to avoid using the word humanoid, but you know what I mean. Humanoid would be like I said, dwarves, halflings, elves, anything that's not combined with an animal, or doesn't have animal-like features. And so... I was thinking 4 giants. Obviously the bones are bigger. And not only are the bones bigger, but their skeleton is heavier. So like even if you had like a very thin giant, they would still weigh an incredible amount because their bones are just super resistant to breaking and stuff. So their skeleton, their bones are heavier. So it means they don't break as easily. And I imagine, I'm not a biology expert, but I imagine with like a stronger skeletal structure that would allow them to like hold up the extra muscle and height as well. Because when a human gets really tall, you know, think of stuff like Marfan syndrome, the circulatory system does not like that, and the muscles of the skeleton does not like that. So that's a big difference there, is that also the giant's circulatory system is designed also to be stronger so that it can actually get blood up from the legs up to the heart, up to the brain. Bigger arteries, bigger heart, yep. Scar teases him about that when they find out. He's like, oh, you got a bigger heart. Mama's like, shut up. Yep, Goliath would be resistant to cold, bald. Good night, guys. Good night. Good night. Excuse. They'd probably also be able to hold their breath for like a longer time. And so naturally stronger, naturally more resistant to cold. Like everybody, like if it was snowing, everybody else would be like bundled up in winter gear and Momo's just out there in the suit as always. He's like, I feel fine. Because mountain giants are obviously, you know, from the mountains, they probably operate really well at high altitudes. What else did I write? I guess like smaller eyes, smaller ears. Also taking note between like design elements between Mumbo and Skiz, because Skiz is a full-blooded giant. And when he comes in, he's bigger than Mumbo. And also like smaller eyes is like a similarity I noticed between the two of them, just like visually, is that I just draw them with really tiny eyes. And he says, at what point would the denser bones be a damper on swimming and stuff? I had that thought where I'm like, you know what, I made him a really good swimmer, but then I also wrote in that like the skeleton's denser. So I guess the extra strength, as long as he's moving in the water, as long as a giant is moving in the water and like actively swimming, they can swim just fine because super long arms, super strong muscles can just push them forward. But if they were to hold still, so like humans and like other creatures would be able to, how we can like lay on our backs and float, they wouldn't be able to do that as well. He sinks unless moving. And then for... Oh, hello, Andrea! Andrea, how's it going? I talk about one of my fantasy stories. That's why we're holding still and talking about giants and elves and stuff. Have you heard of Pow World? It's like Minecraft and Pokemon combined with guns. I've heard of it. I definitely heard of it. It's on the list. I want to at least explore it and try it once, maybe with my friends Mystic and Hinata. I think Hinata actually played Pow World before. I want to give that a shot. I do have an idea of streaming Cobblemon. I want to play Cobblemon, because that seems like a lot of fun. I see the Pokemon in Minecraft. So I want to give that a shot. I think Cobblemon is going to be my main stream thing for February. I think so, because I want to at least get started here. And I want to experiment with doing stuff like, you know, Mario Kart Mondays, TCG Tuesdays, and just having consistent days to do something else that isn't Minecraft. But come February, and then of course still doing this as like the regular Minecraft, your regularly scheduled Minecraft stream on like Saturday, Sunday. What day is it? Is it Saturday or Sunday? Today's Sunday. Okay. That's right, tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to D&D tomorrow. Oh, but Yeah, okay, so the streaming thing, I want to do Mario Kart Mondays, TCG Tuesdays, because I'm still hooked on Pokemon TCG, and then Minecraft, Island Life Saturdays, or Island Life Fridays, whichever one. And then February, I'll throw in Cobblemon. I do want to do a Valentine's Day stream, playing Monster Prom with Hinata. So we had that idea a while ago, and I want to do that with her. That'll be funny. Yeah, I've got ideas. I got ideas for a bunch. I have like a list of 50 games I want to stream, and I want to do all of them. While at the same time, I still gotta make the Stonebania videos. Because it's not that I'm losing motivation, it's just that I've got more ideas that keep coming. And then the Stonebania videos just keep getting pushed further and further back on the list. But I want to keep working on my Western town. I don't want to let that idea fizzle away because I want to see it. I set out to start it. I made one building, and I want to actually follow through with the project. I think I may have burned myself out a little bit just doing the terraforming, because that was a huge terraforming project. And I think it made me a little bit sick of just looking at my base for a bit. I'm like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that anymore. But it's also the prospect of, now that I'm done terraforming, I have to build. And I'm like, oh, building's scary. I don't know what house looks like. I've never set foot inside a house in my life. So I just gotta sit down and record it. While also keeping up with Professor Layton. I don't want to let that die either, because I don't care if you guys are interested in it. I'm interested in it, and I want to see how the mystery ends. I want to know who done it. So I'm gonna keep making the Professor Layton videos. I don't know if I'll do the full trilogy afterwards, just because just playing through this first one, getting the videos from the iPad to the PC, because Professor Layton is only available on mobile and the original DS, is a nightmare, and I really, really wish that the Professor Layton games were available on PC. Please, like, just have the mobile setup and put it here. Put it here. I don't know anything about gaming or coding, but it can't be that hard to just take what appears on the screen on mobile and make it appear here. Please. Because it's a good series with good characters and genuinely good mysteries. Like, I'd love to actually be able to stream Professor Layton, because with the puzzles, that would be really fun to work on with a chat audience. But alas, it's got to be record only, because he's stuck on mobile. Anyways, back to talking about our fantasy species. Wide feet would be good for swimming as well. Definitely. So with the giants, they definitely got bigger feet, bigger hands. Because also while they're kind of trying to convince Mumbo that, like, yeah, you are a giant, you're not a human, they call Wells over, and Wells is like 6 feet tall. So they're like, Wells is a tall human, and look at him next to you. And there's definitely a difference in, like, the way the hands are built. And they have, Etho kind of has them, like, hold their hands up to each other to show Momo that, like, you two are not the same species. Because you're not of the same blood. You're not what he is, and he's not what you are. Alright, and in the end, I wrote out there's gonna be a scene of Beef giving him a talking to, because the whole time Mumbo thinks that they're, like, insulting him by saying that, like, oh, you're obviously a giant. And he's like, no, because all his life he's heard that giants are bad. That they're these, like, vicious cannibals that live in the mountain and are, you know, living in loincloths and attacking people. So then when people start saying, hey, that's what you are, he gets upset about it. And Beef has to give him a talking to and be like, hey, what you're experiencing is called internalized racism. And it's the result of being fed propaganda. That's gonna be... Oh, Soki's here! We gotta do a little wave. Yeah, so that's the difference between the giants. So like they got the stronger skeletons. There's gonna be a moment where like somebody like drops a cinder block off a building and it hits Mumbo and he just doesn't notice. It just breaks on him. And so like they're absolutely built like brick walls. Which adds even more, not comedy, but like comedy. To Mumbo being a wimp about pain when physically he's built to like withstand more pain than anyone else. Mentally, not the case. Oh, 3.5 diamonds says, hey Beans, stopping by to say hi real quick. I gotta go though, wish I could join you. That's alright! I know, I'm on for a late night stream. To just get some resources together and Yap. My bamboo has grown. Also, Olive, I found an island that I believe will work as our resort location. So not too far away from here. What direction is it? That's Resource Island. There. Egg Rock Island. Home of the rock that looks like an egg. So next time you're on, I'll take you over there and we'll do a real estate tour. How exciting. Yeah! We can do whatever we want to the island, but the rock that looks like an egg is staying. That's a fixed fixture. Permanent fixture. We can use it for advertising. Absolutely. Welcome to Egg Rock Island, home of the rock that looks like an egg. Funded by Finn and Out. The greatest fish food chain in the world. Oh, my copper's done. I can just keep cooking my copper while I talk. Dude, not to jinx it, but my levels are getting pretty high. I'm surprised I haven't... I died like once in the opening, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, let's burn these. Alright, see ya. Super excited to start more when I'm free. Absolutely. I'm gonna stream Mario Kart tomorrow night after I'm done with D&D. But anytime you're on, shoot me a message and I can jump on to at least take you over to the island and show you, so we can talk more plans. Anyways, we're talking about Tales of the SS Hermit and the different fantasy species. What is it? So that's the giants. I was thinking more on the elves, as obviously they've got the pointed ears, and I've realized when it comes to drawing them, all of the elves so far, between like Scar, False, Etho. I'm trying to remember if I have another elf. I think that's it. Am I forgetting somebody? That's what the entirety of chapter 10 was. It was just, I had to edit it so many times because I was like, am I forgetting a character? I want to feature everybody as they're all on land. And I want to make sure everybody has, you know, a designated job. Am I forgetting anybody? I got to the end of the chapter and realized I'd completely forgotten about Cub, and that's why I had him hiding under a tree the whole time. So that little bit of him in the story came from the fact that I forgot about him. Anthony says, oh, sorry, I was catching up on the stream. What happened? My dad went on a rant about Social Security, as he should. It's broken. I've been hearing the rants from my dad, too, and it's... You think insurance companies are bad. It's all bad. there isn't a single decent company this side of the Pacific. They're all scammers, all of them. There you go, but... Oh, I was just yapping with Olive about plans to build our seaside resort. Yeah, so species-wise, I was thinking for the elves. So I realized that when I draw them, between Scar, False, and Etho, the characters are kind of divvied up between characters who I just give them the Professor Layton dot eyes, like Mumbo, and then actual, like, full circle whites of the eyes. And I realized that I've given all of the elves, like, the whites of the eyes, so, like, that could translate into them just having bigger eyes. So imagine, maybe not this big, but like, so elves would have like slightly bigger eyes. So I like the idea of making them look a little bit more alien. I want it to be like when you look at them, it's like that's not just a human with pointy ears. That's another species altogether. I was actually reading this on it was on Pinterest, it was a screenshot from Tumblr. But they're talking about how elves and humans is like hares and rabbits. You'd think they're the same species, but on the inside, absolutely not. And they were like, okay, so if humans evolved from apes, elves evolved from squirrels probably, so completely different evolutionary line, completely different internally. Yeah, but they both ended up kind of looking like each other. Big solid eyes. I guess so. Yeah, just definitely bigger eyes. So, you know, the Legolas, what do your elf eyes see? They're able to see further. They've got, like, hawk eyes. So, their render distance is turned up. And that could be another way of throwing game mechanics into the mix. Of, like, they've got their render distance turned up. They're like, do you see that mountain over there? What mountain? It's on the other... I guess it's beyond the curve of the earth for you, but I can see it. And so they can actually see farther. It's very rare to see an elf with glasses. If they had glasses, it would be like reading glasses, or to help with like close-up things. And a lot of this I'm still workshopping it, so it's like, you know, I might change my mind in the future, but just thoughts for now. Throwing out thoughts. This is convergent evolution. Exactly. That I just thought about, has Hypno been mentioned in SS Hermit? Not yet, and I had an idea for his introduction. That in next season. So season 6 and season 7 are going to be combined into book 2 as like one island visit. Season 8 and season 9 will be combined into book 3. But because I don't want to wait until season 8 to introduce Gem and Pearl, I'm going to introduce them a season early and just slide them over. So even though they didn't build anything, it's like they're here and they're helping. But Hypno's going to show up as Etho's student. So he's going to, you know, apply for the Hermit as well. Hermit's going to go into dock, and she's going to have a chance to, like, actually sit in a city dock for like 2 weeks, and everyone's gonna get, you know, shore leave to take a break and just run rampant in society for a little bit, and then they come back and they're like, okay, I'm ready to go disappear into the woods for another year. Let's get out of here. But Hypno's gonna show up because he's heard tale through the bars that a powerful shadow magic user is on board, and he's, you know, trying to be a student of shadow magic, but there's nobody in the city who's able to teach it. At least not legally. So he appears, kind of not knowing what the Hermit is about. He just knows that Etho is there, and he's like, can you teach me how to use shadow magic? I want to learn. Because even though I realized afterwards that this was completely my design thing, but I gave Hypno the mask as well, the same mask as Etho. So I'm like, okay, they probably follow like the same teachings, the same, I guess, like in-world religion, the same magic followings. So Hypno is, and imagine Hypno, you know, playing into the name. He's probably got some psychic powers as well, and I realized he could come in handy with helping some characters interpret dreams and sort of find buried memories and stuff. So Hypno is actually able to do some psychic magic with the head, memories, and dreams, and he's going to help some characters figure some things out about themselves. Maybe somebody got cursed to not remember things as well, and Hypno's gonna be able to unearth some of the memories that got lost. So Hypno's gonna be here, and I'm gonna give him something cool to do. Mystic Wolf, hello, welcome in! I'm just doing late night Minecrafting, trying to get my little starter base set up. This is island life, as you can see. This is a server full of entirely islands. We ain't got no land. But I'm just getting my things set up. I'm boiling some copper now, and yapping about my fantasy story fanfiction, AU, Tales of the SS Hermit. So right now we're talking about the differences between species, and it's drawing from D&D stat blocks to just shit that I made up. But yeah, I was thinking, what is Hypno gonna be? I haven't really thought about Hypno too much. I need to watch some of his videos just to get a better read on him. He might be human. We'll give Wells somebody to hang out with. I'll make Hypno a human. That'll work. Sorry, just hiccuped. But yeah, for elves, I was thinking, so elves would have obviously the pointy ears and bigger eyes. Oh, Mystic Wolf says, I've seen the drawings on your main channel. It seems so cool. I've been wanting to read it. Do it! Do it! Ignore the god. It's fine. You can't ignore the god. It's been my hyperfixation for the past few years, and mainly I started writing it as my escape from very boring 9-to-5 jobs. And it still is. So right now I'm working retail, even though I haven't been scheduled for like the past 3 weeks, which is why I've been here. But I wrote it as an escape from boring 9-to-5 work life, combining my love of the steampunk style with my love of old-timey Victorian novels. Like, I'm the kid who grew up reading Sherlock Holmes. I've read all 60 Sherlock Holmes stories again and again and again. And any other Victorian media I could get my hands on. Throw in some love of adventure stories, Pirates of the Caribbean, a little bit of Indiana Jones, a little bit of the Star Trek episodic style. It's just a combination of a lot of things I love, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna use the Hermits as the vessel for this Dungeons and Dragons-esque fantasy steampunk story. And it came from the question of, okay, looking at Hermitcraft, what possible actual explanation would there be for a group of people from around the world getting together to build a city in the middle of nowhere? And then from there it's like, okay, it's sort of this Victorian steampunk fantasy. We've got like elves and magic, but at the same time, redstone and electricity are becoming more common. Cars haven't been invented yet, but they've got factories are becoming more and more popular. Kind of industrial revolution style. Also, I was thinking Legend of Korra style of that era where they're stepping away from everything being based on magic and stepping into an era where magic and industrial revolution are happening at the same time. And all the magical bullshit that happens from that. And then it's like, you know what? The Hermits are a group of construction workers who travel around the world to rebuild abandoned places and restore them into actual livable cities. And then the story just ran from there. Anthony says, definitely recommend, pull an all-nighter, read it all. No, it's 10 chapters now. Maybe 5. Don't burn your eyes out. Before writing chapter 10, so I realize sometimes if I get stuck on a chapter, I realize I just need to go back and reread what I already wrote to kind of remember my own lore that I wrote down. And I couldn't do it all in one night. I couldn't do it. I'm like, okay, 3 chapters, that's it. Mystic Wolf says, you know what, screw it, I'm doing an all-nighter to read next Friday. Why next Friday? Do it now. Read 1 chapter now, bookmark it, chapter 2 tomorrow night. I've been reading, Hi, Felix. Felix just did a big stretch. To give my eyes a break from screen time, because I've been doing a lot of video work, I'm making a point to actually read a physical book before bed. And as of now, that physical book is the Sailor Moon manga series. I love it. I love it. It's so cheesy and 90s and cliche, but it's so good. I love it. If there was a way, we'll get back to talk about the fantasy species in a bit. If there's a way not to publish the book, because to publish, you gotta have to go through like a publishing house. And obviously this is fan fiction, I don't own the characters. So it wouldn't be published, but if there was a way to print physical copies of Tales of the SS Hermit and have them for sale. If there's a way to do that, I'm going to. Because I want to add illustrations. And I want to be able to hold it as a physical book. Because thinking of like the scale of the story I want to write, it's like, this is a novel. This is a novel, and just because it's fan fiction doesn't take away from the fact that this is a huge story that I'm trying to put to paper, and I'm putting time and effort into it, and I want to be able to hold it as an actual book. And include my own illustrations. So if there's a way to print without publishing, I'm going to do it. And you know, it'll be up on like Etsy for $25. If you did that, wouldn't you have to get it approved by them and then they would have to read it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because like I said, it wouldn't be published. It's not going through a publishing house. It would be the same thing as printing out artwork. At least in my mind. It would be like I'm printing out a poster of Hermitcraft fan art to sell at a Comic-Con. If I could just figure out how to take the words that I've typed and put them into an actual binded book and just have it as an object for sale as a piece of fan art, I will. Like I said, not publishing, because it's not mine. The story is mine, but the characters are not mine. Hi, Felix. Sorry, I just looked down randomly. My cat's down here. Hi, baby. But that'll be for down the road. I'm sure we'll find more information on that. Like I said, just if there's a way to print a book, just for your own one. So like Mystic Wolf, if you say like, oh, I'd like to have a physical copy, I could be like, boop. And like I said, print it like a fan piece on Etsy. It'd be the same thing as like ordering a keychain of Green and Scar. I'd do it myself, but I don't have a printing press. Come here. I'm gonna scoot back without hitting my backdrop. Yeah. You want to get out from underneath the desk. Here he is. Hi. What's up, dude? Cool. There you go. Wiggle away. What time is it? It is 10 o'clock. It is your dinner time. Talk to the wandering trader. I gotta go put food in Felix's bowl. Be right back. Sorry, buddy. There we go, I'm back. Oh, as soon as I step away to go feed my cat, I get a visitor. Howdy, howdy. Howdy.
Oh my god, I was using the wrong microphone.
Ah. There we go.
How's it going?
All good. Let me turn you up.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's like past 12 here, so my wife and son are sleeping and I don't wanna like...
Understandable. I got you cranked up. I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
There we go. I am streaming, doing a late night stream, and I'm...
Oh, cool. Hello, audience.
I am boiling some copper.
Oh, nice.
So I think
do
for
you
the
mind,
shops. Yo.
do you mind if I make this guy despawn?
Yeah, go for it. I don't have emeralds.
Oh, let me see what he has. Oh, what the heck? Oh, right. These guys have like a super mega thing. List of things.
Yeah. We got the mods.
Alright. Yeah, right. All the data packs. Well, these llamas are looking at me that it's almost like they know what I'm about to do. Oh, look at that.
I got the other one.
Did you get the leads?
Yep, here we go. One for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's just that look, come over. I'm gonna show you. I was getting some sand, and it was like a little tiny island. Yeah. And a bunny decided to just join me in the boat, and now he's stuck in the boat. But not anymore. Now I have a lead, but yeah.
Nice. See how long you can keep them alive.
I probably not too long.
They're like horses.
Terrible.
They are desperate to break their own legs.
They're so bad. But that's very, very appropriate that I came over just to say hi, and there was a
Perfect timing.
Indeed. So what you doing? This is your abode?
So this is my little starter island for now.
Cool.
I've just been like snatching saplings and growing them over here to just build up a wood supply, so I have some blocks to work with.
Oh, okay, cool.
But so far I've been getting mostly copper and no diamonds. So I had the idea that for my shop, I'm gonna X out the gravel for now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sell copper.
Oh,
which is exactly what I sold in the last SMP. Copper core is coming to the water.
So that's where I am. You see those random spruce trees and...
Yeah, you're my neighbor over here.
Yeah. So that where you see those spruce trees, I don't know if you can see them. You can see them, right?
Uh-huh.
Like sticking up. Okay. So that's literally where I'm supposed to have, well, I haven't built my house, but that's kind of like where I'm staying right now.
Felix now.
Decided to do like a mega mine, so to speak. But I am on the hunt to find a village because I want to bring villagers. What?
I'm talking to my cat, not you.
Oh.
He's trying to get behind the PC.
Oh. It's funny. I have.
So if I suddenly disconnect.
Here. Oh, I have both my cats here, but they're chilling. They're like just on the floor. Just
Felix does not chill.
Oh, okay.
He's squeezing behind the PC like a goddamn octopus.
That's funny.
I pushed it against the wall so he wouldn't get back there, and he's back there. I just see his tail sticking up.
I love cats. I love how they are just so...
He opened the cupboard today.
Oh, well that's interesting.
Like actually put his paw through the handle and pulled it open and started pulling out the plastic bag inside because he's a goblin and he likes to chew on plastic. Like he wasn't trying to get food out or anything. He just wanted to chew on a plastic bag, and he opened a cupboard.
Then I would be very, very wary of him taking over the world at this point.
I need to get baby locks. Like, honestly, I might need to get baby locks. He's figuring out how to open doors, too, by throwing himself at them.
I'm telling you, he's trying to take over the world. He's starting.
He's trying to chew plastic. So when I hit 300 subs, I'm going to open up a little merch store, and one of the items is gonna be a sticker of Felix. Just saying, just saying, I chew plastic.
Cool. That's cool.
We're 2 subscribers away! I gotta plug it! We're 2 subscribers away! If you're not subscribed yet,
are you?
You hit that subscribe button! I'm yelling at my audience, but I'll yell at you too! Subscribe!
Oh. Subscribe!
Do it!
Subscribe or die!
Do it!
No, I'm joking.
Do it!
There's what is it? I like to, well, I'm a D&D guy, so I also 3D print and paint miniatures and all that stuff. And there's a YouTuber that I watch. His name is Miniac, and what he does is that at the end of each video he goes, subscribe or die, and don't forget to paint more minis.
That's the kind of energy I like.
That's awesome. Well, I am going to go ahead and then... Oh, you have bamboo.
I snatched
Okay, cool.
a singular stock from Bambi's island.
Nice.
Now
And
I have a forest.
Yeah, it grows like a weed, so okay, nice.
I think I'll build my starter hut out of bamboo. This is kind of island themed, island vibe.
Well, if you need spruce, I am building little by little my stockpile of saplings. I don't know if you have spruce
Nice.
saplings.
I was gonna say, I have acacia if you're interested in orange.
Oh, I mean, I'll take acacia. I love acacia for like accents. And also, the acacia door is the best door
Get it out
for
of my
this
sight.
series. Oh,
It's a stack of
you have,
acacia.
like-
It was
God.
the first actual like grove of trees I planted, and now that's just gonna be like my tool wood to make like composters and equipment and stuff. I don't know if I'll actually be building with it, but it's wood.
Yeah, at this point, that's,
Crafting
better than
tables,
nothing, right?
sticks.
Yep. Thank you, I appreciate it. Do you still have more, right? I'm not like.
Oh yeah, get it out of my sight.
Well, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna keep on.
Oh, my phone just died.
Because if I'm gonna give saplings, I prefer to give you 4 so that you can then grow like the big old spruce, so that way you get
absolutely.
more for your, bang for your buck. So yeah, let me go. I think I might be able to get that like in a jiffy.
We hit 300!
Oh, you did.
We hit 300!
Wow.
Thank you guys!
That's pretty sweet.
There goes Silky.
Congrats. Oh. Congrats, Bean. That's awesome. Happy for you.
So that was you, and then Luffy Tick. Welcome. Sorry, I would take a chance to say hi to you earlier. But hello. Don the Batsman was your 300th. Yes! Let's go! I'm gonna open up the merch store now. After I make the merch. Thank you guys so much. That was my New Year's goal, was to hit 300 before Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
And now here we are.
Congratulations. That's pretty cool.
It's amazing what I can do when I don't get scheduled for work for 3 weeks.
Yeah, work always gets in the way.
Except in this case, they're like, nah, we don't want you to come in. I'm like, oh, what a shame. Guess I'll
That's cool because
do what I wanted to do.
oh man, Silky's having a rough time right there, over there.
I know how to help. There we go.
Alright, Bean, I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing the thing that I'm doing. And
Alrighty. Everybody
I will
go
bring
give
you-
Zen a subscribble as well. See that name tag? Zen tag. Go give him a subscribble as well. I got a link in the description.
I appreciate that. Thank you
Go
so
check
much
out his
for
stuff.
All right.
No,
Well,
she's gonna lose her items.
once I have the 4 spruce saplings, I'll bring them over.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Cool.
Keep an eye out on the shopping dock for copper core.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Thank you. That I love copper, so I will definitely.
If you
write
have coin, I have ware.
Sounds good. I'll probably work on. I'm thinking of doing a creeper farm and then doing the whole gunpowder deal thing.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So, all right, then you have an awesome rest of your stream. And
You too.
congratulations
Bye-bye.
again. Bye.
Bye-bye. That was nice, dude. I went to check on. I can't check on my phone. I can't pull off screen. There we go. I gotta see the number. I gotta see it. My phone died. But it's awake now. I gotta see. There we go. There we go. A solid 300. Thank you guys so much. I've been watching that number get closer this whole week. And it's been driving me crazy because it was like 293, 291, 292, 291, 290, 292, 297. Yes! So we're finally here! Which means, on top of the merch store, I also finally get to do a bean jar update. I get to put more beans in the jar. So I think this jar currently has 225. So we get to put 75 inside. And I'll make a little short to celebrate. If I had more money, I'd make it a dice jar. That's over. I've got my bean jar and I got my dice jar next to each other on the desk. And I need to remember to take this with me tomorrow because I'm going to D&D at the comic book shop. And every time I go, I keep forgetting to bring my dice. So I end up just buying another pack of dice. I can't afford that. And he says, "Oh God, stop rattling us!" No. Get shooketh. Dice would be way too expensive unless you get the tiny ones. That would be funny. Maybe I'll do that for Patreon members. You get to become an animal on the ranch, and you get to become a piece of dice in the jar. Get shooken. Oh no. Get shook. I'm so happy. Oh, Smile, we're got some stuff back. Yay! Anyways, I said thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. I have a wall of beans made of iron ore block. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I also realized, I just have no more food. I don't have any fish to sell. Dad, you have some string. No, I'm looking for string as well. You can get string out of wool. You can get string out of wool. So we don't need to wait for a spider to spawn in order to make a fishing pole. There. Oh, Luffy says, I need to get going because it's bedtime for this old lady. Have a good one. You too. Thank you. Have a good night. There we go. And I'm just gonna keep mining my bamboo. This is fun. You can, I think, unless that was a mod on another server that they added in. It might have been a mod on another server. I think it's vanilla. We must test. But I'm gonna keep knocking my bamboo down. There's no sheep over here. I love the popping sound of picking something up. It's very satisfying. And then you just get hit in the face with it. Unmaking wool into string as a data pack. No! I'll ask the admins if we can add that. Because when the nearest sheep is 5 islands away, and when you need to wait for a spider to appear so you can make a fishing pole, I think that'll be helpful. It makes sense. Honestly, that should be a vanilla thing. It's like, I don't want to get... You can get string from more places than just spiders in real life. Okay, back to Tales of the SS Hermit. So next chapter... So I'm planning out chapter 11. That's going to be where they explore the town and find it, you know, abandoned and desolated and haunted and everything. And it's kind of that spot of like, okay, there's a whole scene of them clearing out the town, but on top of the action, what are they talking about? And it's a good chance, like if you're writing something and you get to like something that should be like a montage scene of like, okay, and then they spent the rest of the afternoon clearing out the weeds. That's a good spot to just have characters talk to each other about random things, and it's a good chance to like learn more about the world, learn more about the characters. So, in Chapter 11, while they're clearing out the village of all the weeds and overgrown vines and stuff, that's when they're gonna give a little bit more of an explanation about mobs. And I think it'd be funny to have B-dubs and Impulse kind of having a debate over whether or not mobs count as nature. Are mobs and monsters natural in origin? Or are they something, do they stem from somewhere else? And it's like, well, they didn't evolve to fill a specific niche in nature, so no, they're not natural. Otherwise they wouldn't be, you know, so destructive to these environments. And it's like, no, they stem from the shadows. Oh, is that after humans arrived, but they're not human-made. They're not man-made. They stem from negativity, not from man. And that force is a natural force. And they're just gonna go back and forth with this. Also to show that, like, even though this is a magical world with people who have a lot of knowledge, there is some stuff, you know, like religion, that, like, there's just answers that we don't know about yet. So in the world, they're like, where do mobs come from? Sources say black magic. but where does the black magic come from? And then you get into the realms of theology. And it's fun to take that, just stemming from, okay, creepers appear at night. If you're going to put that in a magical setting, what makes the creepers appear? And the answer is, they don't know, but there's theories. And just having them argue back and forth about the theories. Again, pulling from Star Trek, that seems like a very Bones and Spock discussion. Like, they're on an alien planet, something is going to kill them as soon as night falls. And the two of them would just have a debate about the origin of the thing until night fell and the danger actually appeared. Where it's like, I think it's caused by this. I think it's caused by this. I think they appear like this. Hold on, the thing has actually appeared. Let's go fight it. Mobs are more philosophy than evolution. Exactly. And that's the origin of the debate. Of like, they're not animals. They're not born from, an egg or a mother. They appear out of shadow, like bacteria. So are they bacteria? Is a creeper an amoeba? They're a manifestation of light that can physically hurt you. And you can physically hurt them to make them disappear. You can't cut one open to study the anatomy inside because there's no anatomy inside. It'll just dissolve back into shadow. Are mobs sound? Are they?
Hello again.
Howdy, howdy. Seed.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Thank you.
I just picked these up.
That.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Oh, let's see. Spruce. Oh, I forgot I still have the llama head on.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need anything else.
Absolutely. Well, I got some bread. I should be saving these seeds. Let's go do some farming. I'll put the trees away for now. Felix, please. This sounds like a similar discussion to, does a falling tree make a noise if no one's around to hear it? Exactly, you don't... Well, there's an obvious answer to that one. It's like, yeah, it does. But for the mobs, it's like, what causes them? We don't know. Felix is chewing on the plastic that I have on my desk. I've got like a little bag of candy and he's chewing on the bag. Are you being a criminal? Are you being a criminal? Are you chewing on my stuff? Are you telling me it's time to go to bed? I'm not done yapping. Goodbye. Go lay down. Go lay down. Your laddie's sleeping. Oh, she got diamonds. Just go lay down. Go to sleep. Go sleep. Go sleep in your cat bed. Or on my shirt. You seem to like sleeping on that. I put one of my hoodies down over on the counter and he's claimed it as his bed. So now I'm afraid to move it. There you go. Now it's getting late, so he's getting fussy, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't wreck anything. But anyways, looping back around. I think it would be funny. And by funny I mean terrifying. If in the world of SS Hermit, the spiders weren't mobs. they were like the bees. They're just giant spiders. Mystical says I'm back. Nice. So I'm gonna preface this by saying that I am an arachnophobe, and this is something that would scare the absolute shit out of me. But yeah, I think the island, because it's kind of been overrun by black magic. You okay, Felix? He just knocked over a box. He's okay, he's just crinkling it around. I'll keep him entertained for a bit. But since the island they're going to is kind of overrun by black magic, I imagine that would have some sort of effect on the animals. Mainly the insects. All the arthropods are real? Yup. And I made Wells an arachnophobe to channel my own arachnophobia. And you know, consider you're going to an abandoned island in the middle of nowhere, in a world where magic and fantastical creatures exist. Giant spiders would 100% be present on that island. So I imagine, but it would also explain why the bees are huge. Poor Wells, not my baby. Who of the hermits, do we know of anybody who actually is like an arachnophobe? Because like I said, I'm scared of spiders. I respect them, IRL. I acknowledge that they're not out to hurt me. They're just little guys doing their job, eating insects. But they give me the heebie-jeebies. So there's gonna be a moment where they hear one of the pigs squealing, and they run inside to see that a giant spider has taken one of the pigs. And Wells, big brave knight, is gonna turn tail and run back to the boat. Just to add another layer of fear. So it's gonna be like prehistoric levels of like giant insects. And then as they clear out the black magic, the insects kind of go back to being normal. I don't know any of them being arachnophobes, but Skiz being one would be hilarious. I feel like, so Skiz isn't gonna show up until book 3. Unfortunately. I feel bad because a lot of people are like waiting for specific characters to show up, and I'm like, they're not here yet. They don't exist yet, man. Skiz being one would be hilarious. I feel like as a mountain giant who lives in a mountain, he'd probably eat spiders. He'd be like, oh, dinner. Just take the legs off like a crab. And are villagers normal people, or are there races of Squidwards? I have lore for that too. And again, it came from a Pinterest post that somebody else was kind of theorizing on it. And then I kind of took that little tidbit and ran with it. But also, if you look in the game, villagers aren't human. So all of the zombies, you have zombie villagers, and then I still have the llama head on. You have the zombies that are shaped exactly like the player. So intrinsically, the player is human. The villagers are something else. And you look at the villagers, and you look at the golems. Look at the iron golem. Look at the copper golem. Especially like the iron golem specifically, they have the exact same face. So my theory, and this is going to be how it is in the SS Hermit, is that's free cam. Villagers are clay golems. They're clay golems. They are made out of clay, the same way iron golems made out of iron. And same way how iron golem has a job of protecting and copper golem has a job of sorting. The villagers have their individual jobs that are given to them by the workstations. So they're clay that got brought to life, you know, by putting a pumpkin on their head. And through means of magic. And imagine when the hermits are exploring the village, they're gonna find villagers, and they're just these little clay golems that have been like robots set to run and complete tasks while everybody else on the island perished via a horrible plague. And the villagers just kept going. I found a baby dolphin. Oh. Do the villagers have souls? Well, that sounds like something that would be another debate to pop up between, you know, B-dubs and Impulse and Etho. Tango's answer is like, obviously not. They're made of clay. They're machines. Oh, wait, so is clay the only thing susceptible to zombification? That's right, because iron golems and copper golems can't turn into zombies. Although that would be sick. But they can still break. That's it, because iron golems can break down over time. Copper golems obviously oxidize. Clay golems, the villagers, could become contaminated by black magic and become a zombie-like creature. And in the same vein, the pillagers, are stone golems, because they're gray. They're stone that got brought to life to be protectors of something. And I need to do some more plot outlining to make sure that everything gets introduced properly and at the right moment. So I think I'm gonna need to spend a little bit of time with the notebook. But Mystical says, I want to be contaminated soil. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. And he says, so is the metal too refined? Sort of fairy weakness sort of thing? Yeah. That is gonna be funny. Okay, so when I introduce the villagers, I'm gonna have to introduce a golem. Now my brain's churning. The iron golem. Who do I want to get thrown? Maybe Tango? Maybe somebody sees a villager running around. They're like, oh, it's a clay golem. I'm like, yeah, they're not real. You could just talk about it. He like knocks one over. And the iron golem like comes to life and starts coming at him. And it just hucks him into the air. Beat-ups tries to tame a golem, gets frustrated and kicks it. See, again, now my mind's turning, because, like, next chapter, they're going to be finding the village. Where am I going to introduce the villagers? I don't know. That's the biggest thing that takes, like, the most amount of time to plan out is pacing. It's like, I've got this moment here that needs to happen. I have this moment here that needs to happen. What order do they happen in? Just, putting my post-it notes up on the wall and, like, rearranging them. It's like, do I want this to happen? Do I want this to happen first and then this happens? Or if this happens first, then we'll have a moment for this afterwards, but then it'll take too long. And then this will happen afterwards. Or if I replace this with this, or take this and put that at the end, or save this for another story entirely. Iron Golems seem so sweet, though. They are sweet until you poke a villager, and then they throw you into the horizon. Just... I think I'm gonna have them throw Tango. Would snow golems actually be made after the character, like a snowman? Snow golems would be interesting. That'd be something to explore down the line of them trying to recreate the magic of making a golem. And they do it with snow, where they're like, okay, if you put like an enchanted like carved pumpkin on the head of like clay, you can make another villager. And if you put the carved pumpkin on top of iron, you make an iron golem. So if I put this on a pile of snow, and then it turns into a snow golem, and they're like, oh my god, it worked! We've accidentally made life, oh no. That'd be fun. There's a lot of fun to explore with like taking the Minecraft mechanics and just spinning it on its head to be fantasy mechanics. It would be fun while they're exploring the village, have them like open up a chest that's like left inside one of the houses and there's just moldy bread inside. Just a chest of moldy bread. Can't eat it. Rotten potatoes that have been there for 200 years. That'd be good. If they find an emerald in one of the chests. They find like, ooh, this person had emeralds. I guess this was like, emeralds were like their currency. And then when they find the villagers and they're trying to figure out like, okay, so it looks like these guys are just like little farming robots. One of them comes up to whoever has the, whoever is holding the emerald. And the villager is like very interested in the emerald, and they're like, look, they're like following the emerald around. Do you want the emerald, little guy? And he takes it and through magical means transforms the emerald into a pile of sticks and hands it back to him. I think it's gonna be Mumbo, and Mumbo's just gonna have a sad look on his face, so he's like, he just turned the emerald into a stick. He just turned the emerald into a stick! I want my money back! Bring in stone golems, make them obsessed with holding and showing people things. Just less useful copper golems like their original concept. That'd be funny. Stone golem sounds sweet. That does sound nice. Yeah, I'm interested to play with the idea of villagers being sort of like the only like leftover thing from the people who were on the island. Like I said, everybody on the island wiped out by plague. And then the villagers just kept going. They kept farming. And even if there's nothing really in the ground to farm still, they just keep moving. And they're maybe like the ground is like worn down like 2 feet where they've been following their paths. And the hermits are like, half of them are like, oh, new friends! And the other half are like, free labor. What a lucky find. What'd you just find? Smells interesting. Sniffer? Speaking of which, okay, if we're going off of titles, sniffers should be included in the lineup of listeners and watchers. You've got your watchers, you've got your listeners, and right next to them, you've got your sniffers. It makes sense. Makes sense. They're what? Ancient creatures that were supposed to be extinct? They're not of this world? They've got 6 legs? Turtle shell back? They're like a lion turtle. The island deity, Mr. Sniff. I'm definitely gonna throw in the Sniffers in one of the next books. When did Sniffers get introduced? That was season 9. Yeah, during the course of season 9 is when they first had Sniffers out. I've never seen a Sniffer in the game. I don't think we need to talk about tigers. That's Enderman. That's Enderman. Tasters. Which one's a Tasters be? Is there anything in the game that like licks you? This is a conversation they'd have after getting Grian drunk for the first time. Cats are playing in the box. The box that my wheelchair came in is like a huge stinking box. And it's kind of been sitting by the door with like all the plastic and bubble wrap still inside because I haven't had the time to take it out to the trash. But the cats love it. It's like a doghouse for them. So I just hear rustling and I look over and I see the box. It's kind of moving. I think both of them are inside of it. You got your wheelchair? I did! It came in, was that last week? I think it was. It was, yeah, a little bit ago. And then it immediately blizzarded. So I did get a chance to take it out and do a test run around our shopping area. And I love it. I was able to hit multiple stores and pretty much spend the entire day shopping. And I came home and I wasn't tired. I was worried about it hurting my arms because, you know, the EDS is every single joint, including elbows and shoulders and wrists, which you need for pushing. So I was worried the pain was just going to go from my legs up to my shoulders. But I've got a lot more muscle up here than I got in my legs, so I was able to get myself around no problem. And when I'm standing and walking, it's like there's gravity kind of squishing between my torso and my knees and kind of screwing up, you know, all of those joints. So there's that force pushing down. But when I'm just using my my arms, there's no like excess force on them to like put strain on the joints. It's just movement and muscles. It felt like a workout and not like I'd hurt myself afterwards. So it felt really good. And today I was able to use it to get my groceries from the car into the apartment, so I didn't have to walk while carrying like 20 pounds. So that was really nice. And now the cats have a giant box to play with. Back to the touchers. And thus touchers were reworked into feelers, implying touch and emotions, resulting in normal people, the ones that entertain the watchers and listeners. I like that. They're the ones that interact with the world. Or catfish. With the feelers. I like that. So the touchers, the feelers are the physical. The tasters are the ones who are chefs. Beef is a taster. Beef is a taster. Oh yeah, going up. Mystic said, by the way, where can I find the fanfic? It is on AO3 under Tales of the SS Hermit. But also, if you go through my character sheets in my posts, you should be able to find the link to the chapters. I think in the most recent one, underneath B-dubs, the post had a link to AO3 of the chapter. It'll take you to chapter 10, and then from there you can just go to chapter 1. You didn't need to sign in or make an account or anything to read it. If you want to comment, you can sign in as a guest. or make an account and see what else AO3 has to offer if you want. Personally, I don't read fanfiction. I don't mean to say that like a snub or anything, but like I have more fun writing it. I feel like when I read other fanfiction, I'm like, no, I have this specific vision of a character in my head, and that's the one that I want to see. So I write the story that I want to read. AO3 is just a place to put it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a writer than a reader. But then I gotta realize that when I read, that's when I write better. So I gotta at least pick up a book every now and then. That's right. I don't know where it went. I think I put it on the shelf somewhere. I was trying to read through the original book of Howl's Moving Castle. I got halfway through, but I want to pick that up again. I think I might do better with that one as an audiobook. Listen to it. That'd be good. I should probably get into like audiobooks more to like listen to them while I'm doing my Minecraft grind work. But it was really good. A joke, sixth censor. The Animal Crossing music just infected my ears and all thoughts got evaporated. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So while I have your attention, and I like yapping about the story with you guys, because then I can get some feedback and then potentially some other ideas if I'm stuck somewhere on something. Because right now, and this happens every time I write a story, so there's always one character who gives me trouble. And I'm like, I'll write the outlines, I'll write the story, and then at some point I put on the brakes and be like, something's wrong with you. And not in the character sense, in the written sense. I need to rework you. Come back here. And in this case, that's Cub. So I wrote his character card, I wrote his outline, I wrote him into the story, and now that I've gotten to this point, I've kind of put the brakes on, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I screwed something up. I need to go back and I might need to go back and fix something. I don't like the idea of going back and, you know, retconning stuff, but I think I just need to, like, edit some of his dialogue. Because here's the thing. Let me open up my phone. I wrote this down in notes, and I made, like, an outline of the story before, just to, like, have a spot to write down all the stuff that I want to happen, and then maybe figure out an order of, you know, what order is the stuff gonna happen. Cub is really important to the story, and I just kind of glanced over him, and I'm like, the reason why this knot is appearing later on in the plot is because I didn't give him the correct introduction here. So it's just the fact that his character has got contradicting elements to him. And I need to figure out exactly what he's trying to do on the island. So I'm trying to set it up without spoilering, but you know, if you get a little bit of, it's not a spoiler, it's a sneak peek. So I introduced him. When Scar first meets him on the ship, Cub is unpacking his trunk and it's full of wires and computer parts, and he says that, if I remember correctly, And that's an issue right there. If I don't remember what his motivation is, that means I need to work on it. I think he said that his goal as an engineer was to make a black magic powered computer. And that he's trying to develop a computer. So this is an age like Industrial Revolution is just now happening. Steam engines are becoming a thing. Cars don't exist yet. They have radio waves and radio like programs. It's like they have radios, no TV. No phones. Everything's still like telegraph. And he's trying to build a black magic powered computer. And I think that line is the culprit. Because what he's trying to build is his motivation for being on the island in the first place, and that's not a good one. I set him up to try to build the wrong thing. So the goal, the end goal, is the big climax is that they're going to find basically a woodland mansion, and there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a big square off between the hermits and the pillagers inside the mansion. And it's going to end with them freeing the Vexes. And this is where my own Minecraft lore is kind of falling short. Like, I don't know what the story is behind the Vexes. So I need to research that too. I gotta sleep. The thing is, they're gonna fight in the mansion. And afterwards, they're gonna have the Vexes, and Cub is going to figure out how to harness the Vex magic. And that's gonna lead into, Convex. I'm talking about it out loud, some things are coming together. Vex are just angry allies, yeah. Pretty much. Found a village! Awesome! Awesome! What are the chords? I'll keep mining my bamboo. So I think there's gonna be a whole scene where the pillagers keep showing up, trying to pretty much attack Stress. Because, Stress is still in the story. Because it's season 5. But they keep showing up trying to attack Stress because she's a fairy, and their, magic coding is interpreting her being a fairy as an ally. And that's kind of a clue that leads them to, like, the pillagers are trying to capture allies. For some reason. And again, I need to write out a little bit more of why they're doing that. Drain the negativity from the Vex to purify them into allies, while using the dark magic to power whatever he decides to make. I think something just clicked. I'm taking a picture of that. That's a good explanation. Because that's the thing that ties me up whenever I'm writing stories. Is the schematics of, like, how exactly does this thing work? How exactly does the magical item do the thing that needs to happen in the story? Mystic says, "Oh god, you two are so smart. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out." This is what I miss from the college days, is just workshopping ideas, just yapping. And through the process of yapping is when things get figured out. Both in stories and in real life. So, like I said, I think I just need to figure out what exactly Cub is trying to make, because the whole point is that he got on the Hermit because he kept getting kicked out of college. He's been expelled from 3 different colleges, and they've all been for the same reason, because he's trying to make this thing. I had this idea of what exactly is he trying to make? And then I tricked myself up again, because in his character card, I wrote in like the little descriptions, is that he's more used to theories than actually building things, and that's where Tango kind of comes in as his teacher. As that he's actually showing him how to actually be an engineer properly and translate the stuff on paper into an actual machine that works. Drumming my fingers. So it's like, what was he trying to make that was so bad that it would get him expelled from college? And I was like, okay, is he trying to make a robot powered by magic? So he'd probably be trying to like take the idea of binary coding and combine it with magic as a power source to make what we would know today as just a robot. So him coming across the villagers as pretty much a magic-powered, not a robot, but thing. Because he'd be trying to make like an actual machine and then have magic be the power source. But you can control it with binary coding to tell it what to do. And that would be sort of his big, grand scheme idea. But in the end... So again, not a spoiler, it's a sneak peek. He's going to... Whatever magic they're able to harness from the Vexes, he's going to use that to, instead of powering his robot idea, he's going to use it to make a pair of leg braces for Scar. And that's going to be the braces that I always draw Scar wearing, is that Cub made those using magic, so that Scar can actually use his magic to control them, and it won't be a big clunky machine that hurts him, it'll actually be something that he can work with and use. So that's going to be the end goal, because there's going to be a moment of Tango kind of sitting down with Cub. Axolotl, hello! There's going to be a moment, and this little moment here is kind of where this sort of spiral with Cub is starting, where I'm like, I need to like solidify his character a bit more before I continue, because he's important to the plot. And the stuff that he's trying to research is the stuff that's going to pull them towards the danger that's existing on the island, that they need to figure it out and get rid of it. Axel says, I love all the touch talk. Obsessed with it, and I kick my feet and squeal whenever a new chapter comes out. Ah! I do too. He says, does Cub realize the amount of harm the dark magic can do, or does he not care and just sees it as another energy source? I think from just going off of his character currently, he doesn't care and sees it as an energy source. So again, I'm making the mental notes in my head of like what I need to write down in the coming chapters, because I might go back and just change Cub's line in his introduction where he's saying like, oh, I'm trying to make a black magic powered computer, and just change it from computer to robot. But I think as of right now, he's a very low empathy character. He's very much, you know, in cartoons, you've got like the evil nerd. Character development, more empathy needed? Absolutely. And hence, at the end, him giving up the idea of using the dark magic power robot and switching it over to make the prosthetics for Scar. And that's gonna cover up. Again, Tango is gonna have a moment with Cub. Because I need to write Tango and Cub being teacher-student as well. Because the whole thing is that even though Cub is like way smarter, Tango never went to college. Everything he's learned by doing it. Everything the Cub knows, he knows from reading and attending lectures. So it's very different styles of knowledge. And when Cub is like explaining his idea to him, Tango has a moment of being like, okay, you want to build a robot combining binary theory powered by dark magic. Why? And Cub's like, what do you mean why? It'll be a fascinating thing to experience. It'll be a tremendous step forward in our understanding of, you know, basic robotics and binary theory as a whole. So that a computer will no longer have to, you know, take up an entire room and use an entire city's worth of electricity. It can be contained into one. It can be contained into one box and actually be able to perform functions. And Tango's like, but who's that gonna help? And Tango needs to step up, because right now he is kind of a lazy teacher where he's like, oh, I don't have to actually teach him how to do anything. Here, screw these two things into each other and keep doing that. There you go. I'm gonna go back to work. So it'll be a moment of Tango like actually having to teach him something and be like, when you make something, when you make like robotics, it's not just your brain. When you make a machine, well, it's the same thing as creating art, or like Ren writing one of his plays. Is that you need motivation. Why do you want to build a binary coded black magic powered robot? Other than it would be cool. Who is it going to help? And Cub is stuck on it. And Tango's like, the reason why it doesn't work, why your theories don't work, is because there's no heart behind them. You're just putting math together. If you have a motivation behind the thing you're making, if you make it with the intention of actually doing good or helping somebody, well, that's when your machines are actually going to start going to work. That's when everything is going to click and, you know, it'll stop exploding in your face. And that's going to be kind of what, like, changes Cub's mind a bit. He found another village. Nice! I got a hiccup. Character development, become even less empathetic / joke. Plot twist, he becomes worse. I feel like in an alternate universe, Cub would be a very good antagonist. He'd be a very good villain in another world. But Tango gives him the lessons, and Scar teaches him the magic of friendship to help him turn his mind from making evil robots to making good robots that could be used for evil, and making things that help people. And from there, I imagine Cub kind of becomes proficient in making prosthetics. Once again, just blasting characters with the disability ray. He could help. So once again, he makes the braces for Scar. If in the future somebody loses a limb, he'll be the one to help make them a new one. He helps Doc with his arm and with sort of remaking his face. It's because we established right now that Doc's pretty much just got a chunk of steel attached to his skull, and obviously that hurts really bad. So maybe Cub, with his newfound knowledge of how to make, maybe it's like a flexible metal, he combines like the dark magic with machinery to make something that's lightweight and it can transform and it can be usable and it doesn't like expand with the heat or anything. And he's like, hey Doc, do you want me to make you a new face? He keeps the eye. So imagine Doc's eye was made by his wife. The rest of it was kind of just hospital made metal. Biomedical engineering. Exactly. He's gonna go from evil scientist engineering to biomedical. Bean, do you have an estimate for the number of chapters, or does it just go along until it ends? No chapter numbers. I have plot points that I want to hit, and then small things in between. And then I know what the last chapter is going to be. And I know that something needs to happen in the middle. And I just got to tie it all together. So like I said, I have a basic outline of book 1, book 2, book 3. And I'm going to have to make like an official note of this on the next chapter. Just to tell people that Grian isn't going to be in this book at all. Because I don't want people to be waiting for him chapter by chapter, like, oh, when's Grian going to show up? When's Grian going to show up? Because I'm hinting at him. I'm hinting at the Watchers. But I'm merely establishing that Watchers are real. I think as of this point in time, Grian is watching the rise of the Roman Empire in an alternate universe where everyone's a Cyclops. So he's busy. Being a Watcher. And also, at this point in time, Mumbo is not ready to make friends with a Watcher. If Grian showed up now, Mumbo would run away crying. He would run away crying. He would not want anything to do with him. He'd be scared to death of him. So Mumbo needs to grow as a character. He needs to grow up a little bit and learn some lessons. And then he will be ready to look a Watcher in the eye and say, I can fix him. So as right now, Grian's busy watching stuff, and Mumbo is still too much of a baby to even begin to have a friendship with a creature. He's still figuring out how friendship works with Scar. He's like, I guess we're friends? I don't know, he hasn't said anything yet, so I don't think we're friends. We might be. I don't know. Sees the mountain peak, just need to make the stars. Exactly. Stairs. Just need to make the stairs. Yes. Are there that many people who ask where Grian is? Yes. Or like anytime I mention the Watchers, they're like, oh, does this mean the Grian's gonna show up? Does this mean I hope the Grian's gonna be here in the next few chapters? I'm like, no, he's not in this book. He's not in this book. He's not in this chapter. He's not in this book. Hold on. His introduction is going to kick ass. It's going to be awesome. I've already written it. I wrote the moment of Mumbo and Grian meeting each other. I wrote that long before first chapter of SS Hermit. It's like that moment is also going to be animated. I'm gonna, after I publish that chapter, once I get there, I'm going to animate that moment. Because it's so cool and I really want to draw it. So, don't worry, Grian is going to show up and it's going to be sick. It's going to be awesome. May I ask which hermits exist currently? It'll be easier to list the ones that aren't here. So as of right now, Grian's not here. Gem, Pearl, Hypno, and then the season 10 guys, Skiz and Joel. So right now we're starting off in season 5. Oh yeah, Zedaf isn't in the story yet, but he'll be coming in this story. Obviously, I can't forget about my boy. I love him. I love his videos and I love writing his character. I love drawing him. He's one of the most fun ones to draw. Zedaf is just a little sheep guy. And Cleo isn't in the story yet, but she will be showing up in this book. I think, the Life series guys, so like Bigby, Martin, Jimmy, will be showing up as additional characters, but they're not going to be main characters. But we'll get to see them. Scott's going to show up. And they'll just kind of be like passing by in the background, just doing their thing, but we'll meet them at different points. My bamboo girl. Martin. I wanna introduce Martin in this story. He doesn't really have a purpose. I wrote Martin. He's like the fox in Animal Crossing who shows up and tries to sell you art. He's just like a wandering traveler. He'll just show up wherever the hermits are, and he's like, "Hey, last time I saw you, you were on the other side of the world. How's it going?" And Doc is like, "Get the fuck off my island." But he'll show up with like stuff that he's gathered from around the world and try to sell it to them. He's like, "I have these magical beads from the island of Takihiro. I have this magical amulet that I can sell you for 2 silver pieces. I have the obsidian feather of a fallen watcher. Not for sale." But he kind of serves the role of the wandering trader. He'll just show up and be like, "Hey, you want a cherry blossom sapling? I found some. I got plenty. Give me an emerald." Is Zed a willing participant in Tango's experiments, or will he just kind of be thrown into them? Zed will be an instigator of Tango's experiments. Zed is an enabler. Tango will be like, "We could do this, but I don't know, it'll take a lot of energy. Someone might get mad at us. It might not work." And Zed would be like, "I've already thought of several ideas for how to make this work and make it even worse." Is Martin a dwarf? Martin is a wolfkin, like a Ren, except more like a dog. Dogkin. Still technically a wolfkin, but he's a dog. And like the fox of Animal Crossing, is there a 50-50 chance it's fake? Yep. I thought the idea for Martin's introduction is to just have him sort of be sailing on the path in between, you know, whatever country is closest to Fernil, on his way to somewhere else. And he passes by the island that has been, you know, a ghost island and abandoned for the past 200 years, and, you know, sometimes he'll pass by the island and like make camp on the beach and catch a fish or two, but there's always been too many ghosts for him to for him to set foot on the island. And then he's passing by in his little ship, his little Jack Sparrow dinghy, and he sees smoke coming from the island. And he pulls his ship up, and it's just gonna be a moment of all the hermits are like at work at this point. They're like rebuilding the village. They got houses going up. Some of them got roofs now. There's fires going. And he just kind of walks in, and there's so many hermits that are so busy, they don't notice him. They're just like, hey, can you pass that hammer? And he just like passes the hammer up. And he just starts following them around. Until one of them notices that he's there. And like they go all the way to the mess hall. It's like, oh, there's the dinner bell. Mess hall's ready. Let's go get dinner. Everybody sits down at the tables and they're working and laughing and eating and stuff. And Doc just locks eyes with him and goes silent. And then the person next to him sees it and goes silent. And then one by one, the rest of the cafeteria just kind of quiets down as they just stare at this random new guy who just appeared. If you're in the middle of an ocean, on the middle of an island, and a new person suddenly shows up, everybody just goes quiet and they all just stare at him. And it's just, who the fuck are you? Martin just like grabs the bowl and he's like, well, dinner was incredible. I'll see you guys later. And just takes off running. And they're just like, who the hell was that? Who was that? No, get back here. And then they catch him and he's like, I was just passing by. I didn't think people were gonna live here again. And then he tries to sell them stuff. Then he tells them the knowledge that he knows about the island. So he's probably gonna have a little bit of lore to give them. I gotta figure out what that is yet. Martin just spawns in. Exactly. He just, boop. Oh. I'll just sit down and not tell anybody I'm here. It's also something like when you're looking at a lineup of the hermits, it's like you could just throw in a completely random Minecraft player and just, you wouldn't notice because there's just so many of them. It's like, has that one always been here? It's like at my family reunions. I've got a huge family. Like, both my dad and my mom are the youngest of 7. So I've got aunts and uncles, and then great aunts and great uncles, and then cousins, and then the cousins have kids, and then those kids have kids, and then this cousin got married and had different kids, and then there have been family reunions where a lot of people will just stare at like a random person. It's like, that one belongs to us, right? Who does that one belong to? Who does that kid belong to? Okay, good. Grab a plate, I guess. You're one of the family now. Come on in. Axolotl says, oh, I remember from one of your posts, Bigby is a worshipper of the Watchers. Yes. And he says, is Martin still a listener, or is that an underlying thing? It's kind of an underlying thing where he's had an encounter with a Watcher. And usually people who encounter Watchers don't remember it afterwards. I'll give you a second to write that down. But he had an encounter with a Watcher and, survived. So he knows what they look like. He knows that they're real. And he knows that the spirit of that one is attached to him, and it ticks him off to no end. So, Bigby is a worshipper, and that he reads the ancient texts, he lights the incense, he says the prayers. Martin is a believer in the sense that he will throw garlic at his mirror to keep them from spying on him. So he's more of a tinfoil hat, they're watching me kind of guy. Bigby is like, obviously, yes, they're watching you. That's their job. But they're gonna come in later. Bigby will probably show up in, once again, in Island 9. So after the events of Season 8, when the Hermits get to Island 9, Bigby's kind of just already gonna be there. Mystic says, BRB gonna go to the mirror and grab some garlic real quick, no real reason. He doesn't even know if throwing garlic at the mirror works. And that's gonna make it even funnier when Grian shows up and he meets Martin. And Martin's just like, ah, yeah, you gotta wear garlic to keep the Watchers away from you. And Grian's like, I just had garlic bread last night. I don't know where you got that from. But there probably should be something that actually does repel Watchers. That freaks Grian the F out. Sand. It works like salt with repelling ghosts. If you make a circle of sand around yourself, a Watcher can't see you. Or it's like a vampire like stepping on concentrated ground where they just start like hissing, just like so if Grian steps on sand, it's just and that's why he sits on Mumbo's shoulder. Any grainy substance like powder or gravel as well, maybe just sand. His brain crashes if sand falls. We're gonna take this, we're gonna run with it. I also like the idea of him like just touching sand in general burns him. I was like a werewolf touching silver, just it's like holy water to him. And he's like, oh darn, touching it hurts. Good thing I can fly. I also had an idea. I haven't drawn him with it yet, because I haven't, like, made a design for it yet, but I had this idea that, like, when he appears as a Watcher, you know, appears on Earth, it's not gentle, it's kind of a getting ejected from the heavens situation, and after he gets, you know, ejected from the dimension above, his wing is very injured. So I was playing with this idea that so he kind of spawns in as an avian, as a bird. But right off the bat, his wing is injured and he can't fly. But that's where the Elytras would come in, so once again, hitting characters with the disability ray. That would be, you know, maybe something that he's ashamed of, or he also kind of gets attached to Mumbo like that, where like since Grian can't like get around very quickly on his own, that's where he just latches onto his shoulder and stays there. Which, side note, I've had people ask like, oh, why do you draw Mumbo so big? Why do you draw Grian so small? The answer to both of those questions is so that Grian can fit on Mumbo's shoulder. Like, I designed them, both of them specifically, so that Grian can sit on his shoulder. And that's why Mumbo's shoulders are like a mile long. And that's why Grian is like tiny, so that he can actually sit on his shoulder. And he says, but the beach episode, they're gonna go to Shrimp Town. The highest focal point, Mumbo's shoulder. Exactly! Hush now, Gregory, I can see all. Where was I going? Oh yeah, but when Grian crashes to Earth, his wing is injured, he can't fly. So even though he was granted the form of a flying creature, he's unable to fly. And like I said, maybe he's ashamed of it, maybe he's embarrassed by it, he's upset because he's like, why did the universe give me this form if it's just gonna not allow me to do what I'm literally meant to do? And then he meets Scar and learns a lesson from him. And then they discover the end dimension and past the dragon are ships that hold elytras. So Grian can't fly with his own wings, but with the help of an elytra, that's his mobility aid that allows him to fly again. And maybe between Mumbo and Cub, they could like turn the elytra into like, you know, more of like a Toothless's tail type thing that can like flip out as an actual wing. Does sand have some sort of mystical property, or is it just his brain trying to watch every individual grain fall and overloading? That is a really funny explanation. Danzel Gaming, welcome in. This is Sparta. No, this is fanfiction talking time. As he said in Wildlife, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Exactly. Scar would teach him that song. So I imagine, in this world, TV doesn't exist yet. Oh, I guess Korean can fly. So TV doesn't exist yet, movies don't exist yet, but I imagine, Disney would probably be like a radio station that tells, like, you know, with like our radio programs that talk about like fairy tales. And Scar probably grew up listening to the radio a lot, so that's where his love of like the fairy tale stories and the adventure stories come from. And then the comic books. So anything that Scar talks about as like a TV show or movie is a comic book or a radio show. Or a play, yeah. Side note, Vampires SMP is, in this world, Ren is trying to write a play, and that play is Vampires SMP. So Ren wrote it. Going back up, Axel says, Bean, I'm so serious. I think the Hermits should read Tales of the SS Hermit someday. I feel like Jem would be down. Maybe. Maybe. There's gonna be some shipping. So I'll just tell them to skip those chapters. We'll just tell them to skip those chapters. We'll just tell them to skip the shipping chapters. Maybe the first book. We'll have him read the first book. I feel like that one would be the tamest to read. Because it's gonna amp up. It's gonna amp up. And I gotta sleep. Shipping? Yes. This is gonna be your heads up. Well, the first ship obviously is the SS Hermit. So we're gonna have a few happening. So Momo and Scar, you've kind of already seen it in the first few chapters. They're gonna have a crush on each other. Momo and Scar are gonna have a crush on each other. And it's gonna turn into them in book 2. They're gonna try to date. But then again, they're both still figuring out how to even be friends in the first place. So it'll come there. We're gonna have XB and Corrales. Because obviously, if you watch either of their videos, they write it themselves. They write it themselves. Doc and his wife. And then Tango and Zed. Tango and Zed, big time. So like I said, Mumbo and Scar have a crush on each other. They're gonna kind of do the dance of like figuring out how to date, how to go from friends to relationship. Tango and Zed, they knew each other in school. They were kind of in love with each other then, and now they've reunited, and it's like, okay, let's just pick up where we left off. And then Corrales and XB. It's gonna be fun watching them grow at each other, because like I said, at first XB is just super annoyed by him. And then at some point, Beef, being twin brothers, just like, you like him, don't you? XB's like, no. It's like, you want to give him smooches, don't you? No, oh god, I think I do. I knew it. So those two are gonna be fun. Those are gonna be the main ones. Maybe a little bit of Cleo and Etho. I want Etho to be very awkward around Cleo. Like, he's normally just this very calm, quiet, very methodical, you know, magical man who always has an answer for everything. And then as soon as Cleo shows up, he's just like, hi, my name's Beefo. I mean, Etho, hi. Wow. I want him to be smitten by them. Absolutely smote. And whether Cleo retaliates or not, we'll see. Anyways, now to chat. Now to keep up. Danzel says he didn't get the 300 sarcasm. I did not. Like you said, would there be untamed moments? There's gonna be smooching. And then there's gonna be the camera moving away. I'm not gonna go into R-rated fanfiction territory. I'm not gonna describe the graphic details, because you don't need that. You don't need the graphic details. There's gonna be smooching, and like I said, there's gonna be he turned the lights off, and then the chapter will end. There's gonna be moments of like, and then like I said, he blew out the candle, and then we'll start the next day. And your imagination can fill in the rest. Zed and Tango might have a little bit more detail. Because those two, like, it's as soon as they lay eyes on each other, it's like, okay, time to just... Gomez and Morticia. You're ignoring my chat. I'm talking. SS Hermit and Exuma is the first ship. Absolutely. It's just like I said, drawing from like Star Trek inspiration is it's kind of like Scotty in the Enterprise. There's literally moments in Star Trek where one of they're on like an alien planet, and there's this beautiful woman who's trying to, you know, seduce Kirk, and he's like, I can't. I have a ship to run. I must return to the Enterprise. I must resist your beauty and your charm, and I must return to the Enterprise. And she's like, the Enterprise is not a woman. The Enterprise is not a being who can love. The Enterprise is just a hunk of metal. And that, like, snaps Kirk out of it, and he's like, she is a beautiful woman, and I love her. Goodbye. I'm going back to my wife. And he beams back up to the ship. So that's Exuma and SS Hermit. Someone's like, it's just a ship, and he's like, she is my friend, and I will not have you speak about her that way. Axel says, the family absent father. Yes. Cleo and Etho would be two that the Hermits ship together, and they try to deny it, but Loki would really like the idea. Zed chugs a fire resistance potion and dives in. Exactly, you've hit the nail on the head. His bag breaks open, a bunch of fire resistance potions fall out, and Pulse is like, where are you going with all these fire resistance potions? You're going to the... Well, what do you do with these? And Zedaf is like, wouldn't you like to know? I'm going to the Nether. And they're like, I thought you said you hated the Nether. I do. Goodbye. Just... Those two are gonna be fun. And it's like Impulse, just the third wheel on the outside, like, yeah, you kids go have fun. So there is gonna be moments. But like I said, if you don't gotta worry about anything graphic appearing. The Nether regions. Writing that down. That's 100% a joke that ZF would make. Literally, like I said, watch Tango and ZF stream. They write it themselves. Does Beef have a wife, or is Meatball fanart non-canon? I'd like to introduce a wife for him. So, like, she's not here right now in the story, but it'd be kind of hard to write it because they're, you know, at sea. But that one might be end of season 9. So that'd be like end of the trilogy. So we wouldn't see Meatball, but we'd see his wife appearing. I have an idea for like his wife design. She'd be like a Highland cow with like the long hair in front of the eyes. I think that'd be cute. They make out by just headbutting each other. And then at that point, XB gets to tease him of like, you like her, don't you? Okay, there was a voice in the back of the lo-fi, and I thought that it was like far away in the voice chat. That spooked me. I hate it when lo-fi has just random people noises inside of them. Like, I don't want to hear someone randomly giggling in the middle of my music. I don't want to hear, like, a random scream get turned into a beat. Just give me music. He said, yes, I love Highland cows, it'd be amazing. Yeah. I want to draw more Meatball. He's fun. Who else was I gonna add? Oh yeah, so I've got an animatic in the works. Have you seen the clip of Jimmy gets killed by a child? Or it's Martin's daughter running the controls. And she just beats Jimmy up with a shovel. That's gonna be the next animation, but now I want to draw little Amelia with Docky and Meatball. What was the name for Joel and Lizzie's kid? Shadowbean. Well, a baby fairy would probably be too tiny to hang out with the toddlers. What else did I want to hit on? That's the animatic. Baby fairy is just a little sprite. It's just they're the size of a bean. They're the size of a bean. I imagine it'd probably be a little bit too dangerous to let them play with, you know, a little baby ramekin, a baby bovinian, and a baby wolfkin. Almost indistinguishable from a firefly. Yeah. But once they're old enough, and they're able to, you know, move out of the way to not get squished, then they're all gonna be friends. Why do we need sugarcane? I don't need it for anything. Why do I have it? Everyone said it was useful. But I don't have a use for it. Oh, it's my ending music. Gotta put my bamboo away. And with my ending music playing, I think that's my cue to start wrapping up. Start, at least. Books? Oh yeah, books for the, sugarcane. How do you make a bookshelf? I see, you make the books yourself to make bookshelf? I've never made a bookshelf. Ah! Ah! Monkey brain understands now! And I gotta knock this down. I gotta make it even. There we go. Monkey brain gets it now. You use the sugarcane to make the bookshelf, to make enchanting table. Monkey has never made enchanting table before. Monkey will do that next episode. I'm trying to think if there's anything else story-wise. You know? I said, I think I just need to sit down and figure out Cub's story. So right now, like I said, I've been paying a lot of attention to Mumbo, and I know where his character arc is gonna go. Been paying attention to Scar, I know where his character arc is gonna go. But I think Cub, I just kind of skipped over him, and I need to sit down with his character a bit more. Because, like I said, as I was writing my my notes for like the outline for the rest of the story, I'm like, oh, Cub is kind of important to the overarching plot of figuring out the source of the black magic on this island. So I just need to make his motivations a bit more clear, and then actually write in some chapter moments to sit down with him and have him explain those motivations to the audience. That'll be helpful, and that's also helpful in knowing what to write next. Because like I said, I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, they're exploring the village. At some point later, they're going to find the Necromancer's lair. And then at some point after that, this is gonna happen. And then at some point after that, this is gonna happen. But it's connecting, making the little drawbridges in between the big moments. And it's like, oh, so after they're exploring the village, what happens next? That can be a good spot to sit down with Cub for a chapter. Like I said, I think chapter 11 is going to be from Beat-Up's perspective. So we're going to get to hang out with him a bit more, get to work with his character a bit more. Also, Etho. I realize Etho didn't get a very good introduction, but it works because you, the audience, already know who he is. But if you didn't know who he was, that wouldn't have been a very good introduction. Same thing with Jevin. I realized I never described Jevin. I never said that Jevin was a water elemental. So it's like, oops, I just passed that over. I never gave him a description. Which is kind of important because he's not human looking. But I'll give him... I want to make him a character card soon, just to like actually nail down his design. Because I'm gonna be honest, the first iterations of Jevin that I drew were ugly. They were scary looking. I was trying to push the shapes, and they came out looking really, really weird. Same thing with Tango. So yeah, I was trying to make them look more alien-like and more like, you know, what if fire and water came to life as living beings without looking like the Pixar movie. And they came out really scary looking. But I liked their costumes. So now, this time around, like I said, I think I nailed down Tango's design. And I did one good drawing of Jevin when I was doing the basketball hermits. And I think that's going to be the design that I run with for him. So I want to draw Jevin some more, just because now that I have a design for him, I really like drawing him, and he's really cute. And he's also, like, anytime he shows up, like, in another Hermit's video, is like, Jevin is, like, one of the ones where he's not as popular, he kind of gets, like, ignored a little bit, but when you watch his stuff, that man does not half-ass anything. There's no 50% for him, there's not even 100%. Everything is overkill. All the time. He's like, why would I make a farm that produces 50 items when I could make a farm that produces 500 items? Oh, you gave me a piece of coal for Christmas? Well, I'm going to build a snowman to build height on your base. And I'm gonna spit on your doorstep. The first time I saw him show up in a Hermitcraft video, he was in full netherite, with netherite weapons, and an army of dogs. So I really want to dive into his character, and that he is an absolute take no shit fighter. Like he's absolutely one of the fighters of the group. So Drew, I was so happy he got more popular with the Exile arc. Yeah! And I'm glad that this season he's closer to people and he's again interacting more. I'm really happy that this season all around a lot of the, you know, background hermits are coming to the foreground and more people are noticing them just because they're building closer and we're seeing them in other people's videos. So more people are scooting over to them of like, oh, there's Wells's castle is in the background of everybody's video. I guess I'll go watch him now. So it's really good that they're like closer and they're more visible. So the more people are, like I said, they're seeing him. They're seeing them. And they're like, oh, I want to go check this guy out now. Jevin's an absolute sweetheart. Yeah, I want to watch more of his stuff. I want to watch... This thing is that for the story, I have like baseline knowledge of all the hermits, but there are still a few of them that I'm like, I need to just sit down and watch some of their videos and get an actual read of their characters before I write them more in depth. Because there's a lot of stuff that you find out about them through watching their videos that makes, you know, the fanfiction character all the more exciting, and you can throw in little details. Like Wells is afraid of cats. I can imagine Jevin's fighting style being weird and flowy. Is there a body in a water elemental, or is it all fluid? Should have made that 2 sentences. It's okay. Yeah, again, figuring out the fantasy biology here is it's an actual body. What did I write down for Tango? I need to consult my notes. I genuinely need to go back and read what I left for Tango. So I wrote down, either they have different blood or they don't have blood. No, I don't want YouTube Premium. Nope, not gaming. I need to go to animates. What did I write down for him? I need to scroll down a bit, but he's not too far away. There's B-dubs. Winter, there's my digital circus theory. There's Impulse. Chapter 11, we're also gonna hang out with Impulse more. Because, yeah, absolutely, Impulse can see ghosts. And, Chapter 11 is when, after they unearth the village from, like, the vines and stuff, it's gonna start off, like, super exciting of, like, yeah, we found the village, let's go, we're gonna unearth it, we're gonna rebuild this place, and then it's just that somberness of, like, actually walking through it and seeing the insides of the houses kind of left exactly as they were, with, like, clothes folded on the bed. There's food still in the oven. And just the sense that, like, this is a ghost town. There was life here, and then suddenly there wasn't. And just the sadness of, you know, pretty much walking through a graveyard. They're gonna find a few skeletons of people who just kind of died where they laid. And they unearth a graveyard nearby, and they're like, all right, we'll wrap up the skeletons and we'll put them back in the earth with the others, or with the rest of them. And then we'll get to work. And Impulse just kind of having his spiritual moments of, like, feeling the people who are still behind. And, of course, seeing the ghost of a certain someone. And Mumbo's just gonna be like, is he okay? And Tango's like, yeah, he can see ghosts. They just leave him alone for a bit. About elementals. No body hair, including eyelashes. They have bones and organs, but no blood. Their flesh is closer to magma cube slime, so with Jevin that would be like actual slime. The top layer of their skin can harden into rock. Okay, so he's more of a, he's a slime. So Jevin, again, going off of his skin design, he's more slime. Kind of gelatinous. Like, if you grabbed his arm, you'd be able to, like, squeeze it a little bit. But it's not, like, complete water. It's just very, 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 very thick gelatin. Almost like tar. Almost like a tarry substance. So you won't be able to, like, take a scoop of him out. But it'd be close enough. Gotta go. Good night, everyone. Have a good day tomorrow, hopefully. Good night. Thank you for stopping in and yapping. Thank you, thank you. And with that, now I'm in the mood to get to work writing. It is past midnight for me here, and we can see the stars. The stars are out. The moon is out. I think that is going to be it for me as well. I'm gonna thank you guys so much for tuning in and yapping about Tales of the SS Hermit. Shivering in my own timbers, just imagining the texture. Exactly. Like I said, these aren't just humans with blue face paint on. They're completely different creatures. And I'm excited to explore all of the fantasy and the physiology elements. Like I said, thank you all for tuning in and yapping. Hopefully, tomorrow I've got D&D at the comic book store. But afterwards, it'll be done around, 5-ish, so maybe later I'll hop in for some Mario Kart for Mario Kart Monday, just do some racing, some driving. And if you want to tune in, we can yap some more. And Tuesday, TCG Tuesday, we're going to be firing up some Pokemon Live and just, playing some Pokemon TCG. I'm not good at it, but we're going to play anyways. And then rest of the week, I've got work I need to do. But maybe Friday and Saturday, I'll be back with some more Minecraft. And maybe we'll actually build something next time. I want to see if I can build my little copper core boat. So I can actually start selling stuff, getting some diamonds. Hi, Daddy. The cats are out. But anyways, that's it. Remember, if you're enjoying the videos, or the VODs, or anything else gets put up on this channel, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe so we can blast our way off to 400. Once again, thank you guys so much for helping me hit 300 on this stream, and you all have a beautiful rest of your night. Bye-bye!